today on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Dailies today here. We're live in the studio on Etimi and Western Victoria Island, Lagos. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And I'm Jimi. Disu. Good morning.
Right, you can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook and on YouTube. Please come along. Let's start with the Guardian newspaper. The story here that reads, crack in weekend camp as lawmakers disagree over car gift to Speaker.
All right, I want to make an attempt to read the news this morning. I'm not very good at reading the news. I don't know why. I used to be good at reading when I was much younger. But I want to read the news, and the news I want to read to you is a reflection of the politics, the kind of politics that you have. It's a reflection of the character of most of the practitioners of politics. So let's go. Just listen, okay? I won't give an opinion. I just read it to you and leave you to it. Maybe Sheriff would like to say something, but as usual, he will say, no, I have nothing to say. I'm anticipating and hoping that the Lord will descend on him and let him say something. Here is the news. Headline of the news, crack in Wike's camp as lawmakers disagree over gift to Speaker. A crack seems to have appeared in former Wike's camp as the 26 lawmakers loyal to you have allegedly disagreed on the essence of their continued support to Wike. A source close to the lawmakers disclosed that some of them have begun to query what they are benefiting for standing with Wike when none of them are no longer able to implement their quote-unquote constituency projects since the political crisis began in the state, as they are starved of funds. Whereas they are paid, though, this is my own aside, they are paid, but they are starved of funds, whereas the lawmakers loyal to Fubara are implementing theirs. According to the source, the minister allegedly bought an SUV bulletproof vehicle. I got a reaction from you, thank God. But an SUV bulletproof vehicle for the Speaker, Martins Amawule, a development that has triggered arguments during a sit-out among the lawmakers, as they queried why only the Speaker would be the only beneficiary for the gesture from the minister when they were all in the struggle. Please remember that the Speaker has his official vehicle. This is just a dash from the minister, bulletproof. Only God knows how much that will cost. The source said that the gift of the SUV to only the Speaker has caused serious altercations and disagreement among the lawmakers during the sit-out, with Tonye Adoki, the representative for Port Harcourt Constituency 2, raising concerns on the kind of fight they are fighting without benefits. It was learnt that Wike got wind of the information and scolded the lawmaker, while some said the lawmaker who leaked the information to Wike was beaten. Olu. But in a swift reaction, an aide to the member representing Nakuku Toru constituency, what's his name now? Issa Opwende, denied that he was physically assaulted by another member, Adoki, in the melodrama that ensued between the lawmakers, and so on and so forth. You see what your lawmakers, you see, the people who represent you, look at their concerns. How a minister should come and tell us where he got the funds to buy a bullet. I saw some of you are laughing at me that how can you wait a weekend to come? Yes. But you should tell us. Just for the heck of it. Because one funny thing about I've noticed about politicians is no matter how much money they have, they're always looking for an opportunity to pass charges like this on to the places that they hold. So the minister should just tell us politely how he got the funds to. You see, where I'm going is that this whole thing, this whole political experiment we are doing is a complete mess. It's creating billionaires, nothing for the masses. The fight now is for self. Nothing for the masses, nothing for the people. And you think that these kind of things are known just to you and I? Your guess is as good as mine. Next one.
Let's move on to the next week's editorial in the Punch newspaper. And reads Olukoyede, clean the banking mess.
Yes, two strong editorials in the Punch. The Punch say that Olukayode should clean the banking mess and stop the rhetoric. Just go in there and clean the banking mess. It says that according to Olukayode, an estimated 70% of financial crimes in Nigeria, 70% are found in the banking industry. This is a staggering percentage, but it is not surprising. He was delivering some kind of address when he revealed this. And he explained that the crimes are insider and outsider related. That is, there are a lot of crimes within the banking system itself,
Right.
and then also aiding and abetting public officers and so on and so forth. And that brings you to 70%. And the Punch says that this is not the first time the banks are in the spotlight for abetting fraud. And they refer to the time of Magu when he also brought out some mind-boggling figures. And then they do a thorough analysis of figures and so on, but I don't want to waste your time. All said and done, what the editorial is telling Olukayode is, okay, so we've heard what you've had to say, so what are you doing? Since you've said it, what have you done? They now add something for the people, which I'm sure is going to sound pleasant to you. The Punch says, in Nigeria, bank charges are too high and send a wrong message to the public. The CBN should reinstate the customer-friendly regulations as done when Lamido Sanusi was the governor. They now call on the banks. On their part, the banks must do more to disabuse the mind of the public by providing top-notch service and resolving declined and wrong debit notes without hassles. Anybody who gets a job in a Nigerian bank today should go and do Thanksgiving in his church. In fact, he should do it every month. And instead of paying, what are you supposed to pay for tithes? Is it 5%?
I don't know.
He should not just give his first fruit of January. He should give his first quarter
That's too much. That's too much.
To his part to thank the Lord.
That's too much. 3 months salary.
Eh,
How will you survive for 3 months?
there are other ways that you don't need this. You don't get the joke.
You know, but there are people who work they work in the bank, but they don't. In fact, there are most people safe.
Yes.
They work in the bank, but they struggle a lot.
Well, yes, I mean, it's like even you have people who work in government. Oh, yes, you do have people who work in government who are on the straight and narrow, but we always talk of the majority. There's no doubt that there's a lot of criminal activity going on.
There's a lot actually.
But it's a Nigerian thing. Anywhere you have funds, be criminal, it goes pari passu. Once there's customs, politics. I mean, look at the news I read this morning. A minister buys a bulletproof vehicle for his speaker. I mean, you hear that kind of thing in other crimes. It's the news for the day. But I'm sure out there now, people are saying, Jimi, Disu should find someone else to talk about. How can the minister not be able to got this bulletproof car for a speaker who himself has maybe not one official car?
Definitely not one. It's a speaker. Let's go to the news page of the Punch newspaper, the Metro page. There you go.
Also remember that the governor boasted that he bought the forms for everybody. He didn't quite say whether when he said he meant as governor of the state or personally. But when I checked his biography, I didn't see that he came from an extremely rich family. So only God knows. Well, I congratulate him for his dexterity in these things. The news today, Metro News, Kogi Varsity students lament robberies in host community. Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot that. I'll do that after the news. There's a second. Yes. Slain Imo Monarch. Police arrest more suspects and end charges. It's all about crime. NSCDC nabs deportee over visa scam. What else? What else is there? Lagos. The Lagos State government has resolved to enforce indoor smoking areas at nightclubs, bars, and lounges. I don't know why people say. I smoked a lot as a young person. I'm paying for it now in terms of 1 or 2 health challenges, and I can't remember what I benefited from it. It's just the thrill of putting something in your mouth that is puffing out smoke. I wish we could stop smoking worldwide. People will be healthier. Lagos government trains 100 paramilitary officers in sexual violence handling. This is serious business. It says no fewer than 100 paramilitary officers have received training from the Lagos state government on state laws, policies, and institutions in order to combat gender-based and other related violence in the state. Yeah, this is good because you need to take some of these functions away from the police. So with this 100 paramilitary officers, if there's violence going on, they can move in and salvage. Salvage. You honestly don't know what usually women go through. I've had one or two instances where the RRS at that time had to come to rescue a woman who was being beaten up by the husband. It's as bad as that. So this is a good one. And Sanwo-Olu also raises bursary and scholarship grants. This is good news for our students. Lagos State Government, Sanwo-Olu, has announced an increase in the bursary allowance for students of Lagos origin from 50,000 to 60,000, and the scholarship grant from 200,000 to 225,000 for both indigenous and non-indigenous students of the state. I think that is kind of good news. Sheriff, can I please quickly?
Can I please drop this? Right there.
Oh, right there, yes. I don't know why I'm crossing this morning. Yes, this one, Sanwo-Olu built on Red Line legacy. This is the second editorial of The Punch. And of course, it acknowledges, the benefit of having the Red Line. It says that it describes this as a new dawn for Lagos and that it continues to stand out in the country. I agree with them. Having completed 27 kilometers of the 37-kilometer scheme, the Red Line is expected to move 500,000 passengers daily when fully operational. In a mega city, this is a massive achievement. With 8 stations, the Red Line traverses the Agbado-Ikeja, Mushinyabo-Oyingbo-Ido corridor. Wow. So with the Red Line from Agbado, you can get all the way to Oyingbo. Yes, and just walk to Ido and get to the island. Good. So they say Sanwo-Olu, that's the point, should not relent in the delivery of first-class infrastructure in the state. He should live up to the billing as he affirmed during the event when he said, and I quote, "Mr. President, this is not the end of the story but merely the beginning. As I said earlier, we are on a long and exciting journey. Much has been accomplished and there is much ahead to be done." That is the thrust of the editorial. And yes, I tend to agree with it. To be fair, whatever criticisms, whether the costs, the timing, or whatever, better late than never. If I have to go to Alagbado now, and all I need to do is get to Ido to join the Red Line, I mean, that's more than a relief, to be honest with you. So let's keep it up and let's keep Hove alive. The editorial ends with the Metro Line shows that the state government is attuned to the needs of its residents. To broaden the intermodal system, it should invest in roads and instigate the private sector to run efficient waterways and air shuttle services. I don't know about air shuttle services, but at least the waterways needs to be improved. This via Ikorodu transport, whatever that's going on, it needs to be fine-tuned. You can't keep putting our people in glorified canoes. If we are not ready, we are not ready. We shouldn't be risking people's lives. If we are not ready, we are not ready. I hope they should call the likes of Tarzan. The governor should do morning, 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, invite people like Tarzan for breakfast and invite 3 or 4 bank MDs. And between the two of you and your commissioner for transport, work out a way by which some financing can be done and we can have good quality. So the job of the government really will be to provide the jetties. Then you can get private business.
Put the infrastructure there.
Yes, and you can call in a few businessmen who can have some spare money to invest in these things. But it's good. I like what they're doing, and it's nice to see. So that's another one up for the Lagos State government today.
Yeah, absolutely. So people have also been. You made mention of it in passing, but I'd like to ask whether you think it's a valid criticism, as to how long it took the APC government, successive governments of the APC, to have implemented the part of the blue line, part of the red line, and some other lines that are coming on stream. People have criticized the amount involved as well, while others have said, look, yes, those are valid arguments, but at the same time you can see the product of this project. They are there, they are not elephant.
Yeah. I think the fact that the project is done doesn't mean we shouldn't criticize the timing and the cost, because if you look at the cost, it means that if you check out properly with other countries of the world, maybe one red line, if it had been done judiciously, it could have produced another 3-4 green lines. Do you understand? It could have produced more, yes, but we are thankful, where we are now. Yes, indeed. But we have to keep at it. We're looking forward to, funds being used judiciously. Why must it be that once you're in politics, or like I read this morning, it means what you do is to go straight for the cookie jar? We need to discourage that. But given our circumstances, and given the fact that, so show me what the other party has done, the PDP, anywhere of this magnitude. We need to give honor to where it is due under the circumstances. We were grateful for small mercies. Let's use that to encourage them to do more. It's a tough call trying to keep an eye on expenditure and time. Those are two Nigerian factors that traverse all the political in our dealings anywhere. It's a part of us. But we still thank them for the little that they have done.
All right.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Let's go to the Vanguard. There's this story here that shook the world. Let's put it that way. Yesterday, Meta reacts through X as Facebook, Instagram crash globally.
I was a victim yesterday. I ran into panic mode. I thought somebody had hijacked, because I had the Facebook account initially. You don't want to know how many followers I had on that account, and it was stolen. It was hijacked, just disappeared. Omani, my son, we tried so hard to see if we could find it. So I thought that not again, because when they hijacked, they said Jimi Disu was begging people for $5, for $10, that kind of a thing. Yes, and they were doing all kinds of things. But apparently it was a global thingy, all over the world. It was a glitch. But I think it's okay now.
Yes, it's okay now.
Yes.
It affected our beg to differ yesterday so greatly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder. So X, Facebook. What is the other alternative to X that we had one time?
To X, that's Threads.
Threads. How is it? Is
it's
it
also
is
Meta
it up
product.
and doing?
It's Meta product as well.
Okay. Right. I don't. But don't panic if you can now just log into your, because it logged you out.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, what's the moment? What I suffered under the Jonathan government, I could write a book on it. My blog was attacked. Oh my God, the government people.
Let's move on to our next story. Back here in Lagos, Apapa gridlock returns as trucks shun Sanwo-Olu's directive.
No, this is something that the governor has to sit up and do. It's gone for far too long. You remember that even Oshibajo, the vice president of Buhari, at one time had to come in by helicopter to find a solution. But that solution is defying everybody. I mean, this has been going on for close to 3 years. And it says motorists lament man-hour losses, and the also government said to streamline measures for motorists. I don't know what that is. But it says that people say construction is hindering traffic flow. A special advisor to the government, Mr. Cholagiwa, attributed the gridlock to road construction and oil depots operating. For God's sake, this has been going on for far too long. Okay, and the story here also now says that businesses lose over 100 billion monthly. 100 billion. That axis is a no-go area. I haven't been on that side of town for close to 5 years. Oh yes, I haven't been for close to 5 years. And it says operators bribe agencies and park on road. Is a mess. Is a complete mess. And guess what? That's where the ports are.
Yep.
Exactly. I think the governor should just, whatever it takes, he should sit on that and find a permanent solution.
Why has it been impossible for governors to fix that part?
Well, it's been impossible because of corruption. There's a lot of money to be made across the board. And these monies are distributed, like I heard, to stakeholders. Stakeholders. Which includes you just won't believe it. The kind of money, it's just like what happens in NURTW. The money goes to stakeholders. You are not a stakeholder. You are not a traditional ruler. You are not a stakeholder. It's a racket. It's a massive racket.
And this racket is beyond.
If you set up a committee now to go solve that problem, headed by a commissioner or whatever, those in the committee will quietly go and give their alphas, their imams and pastors some money. What that's the way Nigerians think. And then the racket continues. There is enough money to go on in that racket there. From the call-up system for the petrol tankers, the traffic, then the area boys themselves also benefit. Okada, name it. Is a massive racket. Massive. And it's going to take a lot of concentration and very strong willpower on the part of the governor to solve that problem.
I mean, this seems to be beyond the governor.
It's been on for about 8 years.
As it stands now,
Yes.
it seems to be beyond the federal government.
Yes, Ambode couldn't solve anything. Sanwo-Olu first 4 years, he couldn't. Now that he's on his way out, it's very, so this, and then the federal government is too far from Lagos, technically. But he can use his connection with the current president to see if they can do something massive to solve the problem in that area. But the racketeering is so much, and it is daily cash.
Yes,
Shirley.
it is daily.
It's not promissory
it's
notes.
daily.
It's not. It is daily cash
Daily.
that is going on in that place, and maybe we should call on God to intervene.
No way.
We shouldn't call
No
on
way.
God.
The government would have to fix it. Because as it stands right now, apart from the fact that we're losing man hours, we're losing money as well. Like you've
yes.
said, 100 billion. That's a lot of money.
And it has. Apapa used to be. I worked in Liver Brothers. Apapa used to be a very strong hub, commercial hub. It's virtually dead now. Who would, go to Apapa? Is run down. Apapa GRA, the properties are run down. Everywhere is a complete mess. And so it is important. And most importantly, that's where the ports are. So.
And the question is, how are other ports all over the world doing it? How are they?
Well, they're
managing
doing it
their
with
traffic?
common sense and drive and corruption at the minimum. The problem we have now, corruption in Nigeria now, as nobody can tackle corruption. Nobody. You can huff and puff, but you can't blow the house down. Until you get the right leadership in this country.
Isn't that scary though? How do you know
it's
the right
scary
leadership?
because you will always get the wrong leadership because you use the wrong parameters to elect your leaders. And corruption is waiting for you there. Most of them, we know these things now. We know what's going on. Like I will always say, what other time say, we know what I want.
What a guan.
If it wasn't I was bald headed, I'd be a Rasta. I don't know if there's a Rasta week.
Yeah, there should be. Yes, of course, there should be.
I want to become a Rasta tomorrow.
No, it's too late for that. now.
I fuck all that
Okay, let's go to this story on page 9 in the Vanguard newspaper.
Yes.
Army not planning to truncate Nigeria's democracy.
Hey, this is not this thing that keeps coming up. It's sending if it doesn't send you a signal, that's up to you. It's sending me a signal where the chief of army staff again, Lagbaja, chief of army staff Taurid Lagbaja, yesterday said that operatives of his service have accepted the democratic system of government currently in place. He said that the personnel of the army under his leadership, mark my words, that the army under his own leadership were agents of democracy and had no intention to truncate it. This is a signal I will not ignore. And I know the implications within me, but I don't want to frighten anybody here. But like I told the politicians, I warned them yesterday, Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother. if he keeps coming repeatedly, this is across all the papers, and if no less a person than the chief of Army staff,
yeah.
and he has assured that his personnel will continue to carry out their mandates as contained in the Constitution. But remember, for all his worth, that there have been military takeovers in some countries in the West Africa, which include Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic. Yes. So that's for your information.
Okay. So we have to go. We can't take this other story. We must go now.
Okay.
What's coming up? Who is coming on there, Bumi? Who is?
If you miss the YouTube version of today's Diabumi, especially as a young man, don't say Uncle Jimi didn't tell you ahead.
Who is the person?
Go and pay your, what do you call it now, so that you can watch it on YouTube and Facebook.
So go and buy data.
To go and buy data. Set.
Why? I'm talking about the program now.
It's part of it. Part of the fun is to look at good faces. Why would we deny it?
I'm not saying
people have said that Uncle Jimi has an eye for good, whatever it is. I'm not denying it. It's part of the entertainment.
Wait. What do you have good eyes for? What did you say? You didn't say it.
I've lost
the talent.
I've lost my voice.
I can hear you now.
I can only do signs. Go and buy your data. You must watch today's whatever on YouTube and Facebook.
All right, he'll be back at 9. Thank you so much for coming. Lagos, we're handing you back to Kofi Bartels on the Morning Crossfire, and Jimmy is back at 9 for Dear Bumi. Stay here, please.
The drama, the suspense.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.